reset because I did not do a Sunday reset last week. And the Sunday reset last week, like it didn't, when you don't do it and you're like, wait, like my week kind of sucks. You get to Thursday and you're like, wait, it's Thursday. Like, why is this taking place like this? Like, why are we acting like this? So now here I am. I have so many emails to go through. I have so much to do, but I also just like today was supposed to be when my first Sunday, they're called the alignment edit workshops in real life. That's when they were first supposed to start or today, but because of this terrifying snowstorm, which I actually can barely even see in front of me outside. It's so crazy. Because of that, we like could not have done them today. So that's painful and terrifying, but I am just excited. So we're going to do this together. And hopefully wherever you are, we can do our Sunday reset together. So whatever you need to do this week, we'll just go through it all. You know what I'm saying? So by the way, I don't go live quite very often, but I kind of want to more because let me tell you guys something. Everyone tells me when they meet me in real life, they're like, your personality is way better in real life than it is online. Like we can't like tell. And I struggle with it so much because I'm like, wait, I'm fun. I'm not just this like systems lady who's constantly journaling. Like I'm fun too. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, if you have anything you want to gossip about, just put it in the comments. Like that's what we're doing today. We are gossiping. We're chit-chatting. So here's my phone. All right. So tea is that the whole month of January. Should we start with gossiping? If you have anything you want my thoughts on, just drop it in the chat. I'm on TikTok and I'm on Substack right now, so I'm looking in two different directions. So please let me know if you guys are like, what the hell is she doing? But yeah. Anyway, the plan for my Sunday is the first thing that we need to do. Thank you on TikTok for jumping into the comments. Thank you. My plan for Sunday is first I need to go ahead and go through my email inbox triage, okay? And we're going to go through and see what we're doing this week, what needs to be scheduled, what needs to be put off, because this week we have our very first alignment edit workshops a week from today. So we need to make sure that those tickets get sold out, sister, which they already like halfway are, but I need to like promote things more. I'm not very good at promoting my own shit, so got to do that. Then we need to go through and prep everything for the podcast to come out tomorrow. Then we need to go through and like plan all my health stuff because I went to Miami for a week. Then the week I got back, girl, the things I was doing that week, I had so many like personal things happen in my dating life. So that was crazy. And then last week was just a whirlwind of work. So I was like, okay, wow, all these things are taking place. I haven't really had time to actually be a human being. So it's been time for me to sort of get my shit together. And then we have to look at my actual February because it's a new month soon. And next weekend, I'm going to be so busy with my event that I need to like make sure I'm looking at my February planning. Now, something I first did to do my February planning this morning was that I listened to my Channy February horoscope. You guys know I'm a spiritual girl. If you guys are spiritual, please tell me, because if you are, like, let me know, because sometimes I feel crazy when I talk about like astrology with my like here's how to get into business school type of content. So I'm like, okay, tell me if you guys think that I'm like, whatever. Okay, I'm getting some comments on TikTok. Let's see here. Tell us the dating tea. I don't know if I can. Um, girl, I like a boy. He's doing everything right, but I'm scared it'll fuck up my drive. Okay, well, that's my real dating tea in my life. Guys, I'll give you a little gossip for maybe like 5-10, and then we'll jump into our Sunday reset, okay? So high level tea of my life is I kind of made the decision. I don't know what came over me in the past couple of weeks, but I've become very, very comfortable with wanting to be single for like a long time, for like a while, which is very not me. Like I'm very lover girl coded at my core, but it's because of my drive that like, because when a man comes into my life, he messes up my routine and they mess up my like I don't know, my mentality, because I'm very much like I'm a vision caster. That's like the name of it when you do the like quizzes and shit like that from my Dr. Susie Welch Values Bridge course. I'm a vision caster. So when I see someone or I see a business idea, for example, I am already at the end of it before I'm even like considered the next step, right? So when I meet a guy, I'm like, are we getting married or not? You know? And so it stresses me out because it's like, I don't know which one, what I need to go to. But what I've recognized over the past few years of being single is that the best thing that you can do with your relationships as a driven and ambitious woman is that you have to think about most things as um, entertainment. Most relationships with men, particularly, as entertainment for a little bit, because it does take away from time, but it can also be very valuable in teaching you so much about yourself, so much about who you are, so much about what you want, and like how you deserve to be treated. So I don't think relationships or dating or anything like that is like a negative in your life. What you really just need to do is like put it in the right place where it's like, instead of me being like, oh my God, am I going to get married to this guy? It's like, what can I enjoy and learn and hear and teach whatever from myself from it? So point is, um, dating wise, I spilled so much tea on the Picky and Selfish podcast where I talked about my dating life, but essentially it's been hard to date as an ambitious woman. And I kind of decided that even if I was completely single until I was 32 years old, so 5 more years, I would be completely fine. Cause I don't know if you guys saw that TikTok that was like, yes, I'm 27, but I live in New York, so I'm 22. So that's how I feel. Like I'm 22, but something came over me where I just don't want to be in a relationship, but I have a lot of men that want to be in a relationship with me, but I not like necessarily in like the craziest way. But just like I don't know, I just kind of got a little avoidant. This year has been the year of me being avoidant because of I don't know. I'm just like the truth is when people ask me what I want out of a relationship or like what kind of guy I want, I'm like, I just haven't met anybody that I respect enough yet. And I think that's really what it is. I don't respect enough because like a lot of guys are just lame. They're just lame. And girls are like desperate to get married. I've been seeing certain NYC influencers and stuff. Like it's very obvious when people just want to get married for the sake of saying that they have a man, as opposed to like wanting a true partnership and to like build a life with someone. So whatever. Anyway, what are our comments here? Okay. February planning. Yes. So dating does take away from the time, but yeah, you just have to do boundaries. That's what I realized with dating with guys is like, you just have to it's really on us to be strong in our boundaries because a man, it doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter how much a man loves you or not. A man will always take what he can get from you. So if he wants your time and you're going to give it to him, then like, that's on you. You've got to be like, you got to be out of my house. No weeknight sleepovers, blah, blah, blah. You got to be really clear with them. Anyway, I am so pissed. These are like glaring a lot. And I have this gigantic light in front of me because it's so bad. So if you guys are hating the glasses, tell me because what the heliante is going on. Okay. Anyway, okay. The point of the matter is, do I have any other updates? Okay, so I guess life, someone said something, how is business school so far? You guys, I graduated from business school in May. But life since business school has been really good. I really love not being at Wharton. The reason is because I think I spoke about this a little bit high level on over the summer. Maybe it was like September, October when I kind of like came clean about this because I had a video that was going pretty viral about how I believe there should be so many amazing, like smart women on the internet because there's so much opportunity for us here. But I also felt like while that was getting like 1 million views, I was like, well, that kind of does romanticize what it's like to be a content creator online. And truthfully, I was psychologically bullied for many years online. And so I think that like that kind of got to me a little bit. And because of that, I got a little bit less, I don't know. I just wanted to be honest with people about what it was really like to be a content creator and everything like that. And so now that I've sort of come back into the world, being at Wharton was like really amazing and really fun. But there was someone who was trying to get me expelled the whole time. there was like drama and things like that were happening that was just hard for me to deal with because I honestly don't really feel like I'm that controversial of a person. I think that sometimes I just activate a little bit of negativity in people because I can be kind of intimidating. And also I'm not really a sugarcoater, actually. If you do meet me, don't expect that we're going to sugarcoat anything. Okay. Like, don't expect it. Like, I am going to call you out. If someone's pissing me off, I am going to call them out. It is true. I am a Sagittarius and an Aries rising and a Leo moon at my core. Someone said someone was trying to get you expelled. Yes. Like, there was like people who were anonymously reporting me to like the board, which you can't say anything because I didn't do anything wrong. But it was just weird. And so that just like really messed with my personality and like my ability to show up online for a while. But now I'm back. And so that being said, um, I feel what the best part about someone said the best part about being back in New York versus Philly. I love being back in New York. I'm a New Yorker. Listen though, I love Philly. I love Philly. Go Birds. Like being in Philly during the Super Bowl last year, best day of my life. Okay. I had the best time, like genuinely. But we're rooting for the Patriots this year because my good friend Jada Howard, everybody go follow Jada. No, she's not Howard anymore. Oh my God, it's so crazy. Jada Hawkins, her husband, Jalen Hawkins, also my friend, he plays on the Patriots. And so that's who we root for. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, the biggest adjustment being back in Philly or being back in New York is actually the like managing myself completely. And guys, I really feel like I just got into a rhythm, which is why I'm so excited to do the Sunday reset with you because just now I started working at a new co-working space. I hired an assistant. I hired a producer. I love my producer, Candace, my assistant, Martina, love her down. And like, I feel like I also got a brand new management team. I'm working with Wasserman now, which is like a much bigger agency. So they have more like arms in different places, which is great. So now I kind of have a much better system going on. But for the first 6 months, sister, I was struggling. I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to manage myself. Like, especially with severe ADHD. Come on now. I was struggling, sister. I was struggling. Okay, what are we saying here? What are we saying here? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Okay, yeah, but it was just getting to be too much. And so now I feel like I've really like learned a little bit about who I am, what I need out of my like day, week, night, etc. And so I can have a little bit more structure. What's great about entrepreneurship too is that I get to organize my life based on my like health stuff, which is important to me. I was just DMing with a girl this morning who is in the process of getting diagnosed with some sort of autoimmune disease and she's really struggling with it. And I was thinking about that time of my experience, which was just so scary and difficult, but the point is like my health is something that I've put on the back burner for a long time because I've just kind of like not been super, I didn't take my body as seriously as I took like my intellectual capacity and stuff like that. So it just kind of became for me, like, I don't know. I was just pushing myself too hard. And so now I can organize my days, my weeks, my like nights, whatever it is based on like where I am in my cycle and if I have any symptoms coming up or whatever. And so that's really nice too. So, we're in a good place with that. So someone said, I feel like the coaching is a really good idea for you. Thank you. It's been really, really, really like fulfilling for me. So I don't know if any of my girls are on here that I coach in our group coaching, but I absolutely love doing group coaching so much. It's been my favorite thing. I feel so connected to my community and I feel so humbled by the women who are joining my group coaching because they're all geniuses, iconic, beautiful, intelligent, and so like I said, we need more smart women on the internet and like it's just a matter of skills and getting used to it. So that's why I'm like so happy I get to teach everyone. If you guys are interested in group coaching or anything like that, just let me know. DM me or something because I am thinking of opening a second cohort in February because there's been at least 5 other people who didn't get to sign up for the first one who wanted to. And then second of all, if you want to do just like a 1-hour office hours with me, those are open. I have some open tomorrow as well if you guys can want to be snowed in and do that with me. But those have been really fulfilling too. And again, this is something that I've really only been doing for like 6 weeks, which is so crazy. So I really love that. Okay, guys. All right. Now let's get into some Sunday reset. Okay. So here we go. The first way that I like to start my Sunday resets are that I like to sit down at my computer and I like to just go through genuinely like everything that's like on my plate. So that starts with my email. One big thing that's changed my life with email is outsourcing my email to be to AI. So the first, like, I guess one of my most important overall tips that I like to give people is find the most important things, like the things that have moved the needle the most for you in, say, the past month, the past 6 months, something like that, and to figure out exactly what needs to happen in order for those things to happen again, and automate or make it as easy as possible for you to get those things done. So and then find the things that are stressing you out the most and figure out how to delegate, delete, or, or I guess better utilize that time. So for me, as I said before, something that I was really frustrated with once I graduated from Wharton and was managing myself for the first time was my email inbox. And my email inbox, it just would create this huge sense of anxiety for me. And the reason that it was creating this anxiety is because I was like, I can't do all this on my own, or I felt so overwhelmed. If you have ADHD, like responding to people is just the hardest thing ever. So I needed to figure that out because your email is literally the source, for me at least, of all of my like actual opportunities, all of my money, all of my communication, everything was coming through email. So I can't have this negative association with email if I'm not like, if I want to have a good job, if I want to make money, if I want to expand, especially, and the same goes for like DMs, for texting people back, blah, blah, blah. Texting people back, we are not there yet. We do not do that yet. We're going to get there at some point. Once they create superhuman AI for um, email or for texting, it'll be over for you hoes. Actually, I don't even know. I don't like being that accessible over text. I really don't. But DM wise, I'm getting better. Point is, I am going to, oh my God, this is hilarious. Who the fuck is on my TikTok saying no self-respecting white man will have you? Fight me, bitch. Don't piss me off. Anyway, that was my Aries rising coming out. Anyway, the point of the matter is I use superhuman AI for my email now. And it's really helpful for me because I know there's like everyone back and forth on AI, but for me, it helps me immediately like just go through and like in 10 minutes, I'm going to immediately get through my TikTok or through my emails. I'm so sorry, guys. I need to block this hater on TikTok. Oh, no more access to my beautiful face for you. There we go. Don't piss me off. Anyway, so basically, this is really important for me. So what we're going to do is open Superhuman and we're going to see what's going on. And then I'm going to open my Google Calendar and we're going to jump into Google Cal and start planning the week. And then once we like see what the tactical shit is that needs to get done every single week, then we can focus on the emotional sort of like, okay, let's take care of ourselves this week. Because you cannot get started with your whole entire like, I don't know, work if you can't get started with the like mental side of things unless you know the realistic like things that are going to be expected of you in this week. Someone said, what is Superhuman? So Superhuman is this application, it's like an email application that essentially uses AI to manage your inbox. So like basically they have all these different like keyword shortcuts and stuff like that, and you jump in and essentially like starts to match your tone and everything like that, and can like draft responses for you, and it helps you get to inbox 0 like almost immediately, right? And not immediately, but way faster than you would before, so you're not doing all the mechanical stuff of being in your Gmail and having to go through everything and typing everything out. So the way I do it is like you open it up and you can immediately use like AI to draft responses, and so I'll just like literally say into my inbox, into my like phone or whatever, like respond to this person, say we need this, and then it'll draft something in my voice. I can immediately send it out. So basically, if it would have taken me 2 hours to do an email triage like last month, it now takes me like 20 minutes, which is really, really nice. And it helps me stay on top of things. Okay. So now we're going to jump into, so now I'm going to do that. So we can do that together if you guys want to do that. Right now, I'm jumping into, honestly, I have pretty much everything in terms of my events and stuff is all scheduled. So this week I was going to go live tonight, but I decided to go live today instead. And then after this, I'm thinking of recording a podcast episode or two. If you guys have been listening to the podcast, let me know if you like it. Do we? I'm loving that we have people like actually joining on Substack. My Substack girls are my favorite. So Substack girls, what's going on over there? Talk to me if you want to. But this week, it's like I have certain types of days for my life now. And it's like I have some days that are like we go and we're emailing and we're doing admin all day, and then some days are creative. On Wednesday, I'm meeting with my agents to do a 2026 planning meeting. And then I'm gonna go over to and then I have a couple of meetings. And so what I also want to do this week is I have like a goal of like connecting with people and building my network more. And this is something that we're going to talk about in the February episodes of Too Smart for This. Because Too Smart for This, like I was planning, I also have a planning meeting with my podcast producer. And I was thinking, like, I don't really know exactly, like, I really want to make the show as engaging as possible. And I want to really hit on the true problems that ambitious women have. Like, I don't want us to just be talking about, like, I don't know, like, here's how to, like, do email, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing right now. I want us to be talking about, like, stuff that's realistic. So, if you are listening and you are an ambitious woman and there's, like, something that has been on your mind or a topic that you feel like is very much people aren't talking about it in the way that you would want to, let me know. The few that I have come up with so far are number one, like community, because when it comes to community, I think that we are all really like want community and stuff like that. But people don't really have a great handle on where to start, especially if they've been mostly hanging out with the same people for their entire like adulthood or something like that. But number two, just because I feel like there's there's like such an overemphasis on romantic relationships that not focusing on romantic relationships can just feel like you're not connected to your community as much. And so I think that that can be really frustrating. And so I want the February episodes of Too Smart for This to talk about relationships and talk about like how to create the best female friendships and also how to like give back to your community in a way that you've never done before, because that can always be overwhelming. For me, I was like, I'm 27 years old now, which means that like the causes that I want to commit to, I need to start committing to now. The community, like the making sure that I'm connected to the businesses, the local people in my neighborhood, like all of that is just something that has become increasingly more important to me because especially with everything going on politically in this country, we are our neighbors' keepers. We are so important to our communities. And I just feel like that's something that as an ambitious woman can be so hard because you don't want to be overgiving all the time. And you don't want to get yourself into positions because, as soon as they see like a smart, competent girl in the orbit, they want to like immediately give you work to do or something like that. But it's just like that's what I've been thinking about for the first one. And then for March, I was thinking the episodes could be around power, and your identity and power. And I think that power for women is something that is constantly being questioned. So please tell me if there's any topics in that you guys are into. And what else did I have in here? So, and then money, style, and identity. So I was thinking community, money, power, and identity and style are where we're going for like the first half of the year. So I have the coolest guests that I have invited on, some of your faves. If you guys have any thoughts on who you want on, let me know. Okay. So that being said, I kind of know what I'm doing this week. So now so if you guys have why don't, if you are listening, if you have like problems with scheduling your week or like something you've continuously run into that you cannot like get over, like for example, you just like can't get yourself to wake up on time, or you can't get yourself to do the extra like workout every week that you promise yourself you do. Let me know whatever you're running into, and then I can tell you what I've done to get through it. So the first thing that I've been dealing with that I have not been good at, that's been stressing me the hell out, is I have not been going to the gym. And I've gone like twice a week. And I really think it's because I have had so much work, and I have this weird thing where I'm like, I can't go at night because like it's dark. And then also my hair's straight. Oh, girl, what can one do? So this week I'm scheduling in on all my days because Jesus Christ, it's a busy week. I'm going to schedule in all of my health stuff first. So in my Google Calendar, obviously I have everything written. I can't show this all to you because Jesus Christ, like it's my personal business. So can't see that. But what I'm going to do first is figure out the health things that I can realistically do this week and schedule them into my calendar. So this is a busy-ish week, and I have one workout class that I'm going to for a brand. So I'm going to say 3 times a week going to the gym is going to be what we're going to do this week. It doesn't have to be every day. And this is one of my main tips is something called a minimum and a maximum. So you need to figure out whatever your goals are. And I just got the new Atomic Habits journal, so maybe it talks about this somewhere. Whatever your goals are, you need to figure out the minimum amount of time that you can dedicate to them every single week. So let's say it's like the worst week of your life, it's your luteal phase, a boy is pissing you off, whatever it is. You need to schedule, like, you can say, okay, I can work out 3 times a week, even when it's my worst week, versus when it's my best week, I know I can go whatever, 7 days a week. And this is the same with content. This is what I tell my clients when I'm talking about content. I'm like, what can you do on your worst week and what can you do on your best week? You know what I'm saying? So on to this week, it's just looking busy. It's not that it's a bad week or a good week. It's just that it's a literal snowstorm. My gym isn't even open today. And I have events all day on Tuesday, so probably can't go then. And yeah, so it's looking like a 3 time a week, maybe 4 time a week gym. So we're going to schedule all that in. It should be cute. I don't also, guys, like, I'm not really obsessed with anything in the gym lately. I feel like I really do love going to Core Power, like yoga sculpt, but because my hair is straight right now, I'm not sweating that shit out. And I want to go to Solid Core. So maybe let's see if Solid Core wants to be open this week. Because it's literally like 4 million credits and to go to one Solid Core class that's at 8:30 p.m. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? It's impossible. It's really impossible. Drives me insane. Someone said, for me, it's waking up on time. Waking up on time being a difficult thing. First of all, I want us to be real, because waking up on time in the dark and the cold in the winter is very difficult, like so difficult. So there's 3 things I do when I need to wake up like early and on time the next day. The first is starts the night before. It starts the night before when we need to be getting our rest. We need to be getting our to-do list in order. So if you are like, the reason you don't want to wake up on time a lot of times is because you aren't clear on what exactly you need to do. And so there's not that intrinsic motivation that's like in your body to get you out of bed. So we'll start there, where it's like, okay, I never wake up on time if I didn't do my to-do list the night before. So I start by doing my to-do list the night before, where I'm like, okay, what do I get out of waking up early? Because if I know that I have basically like no time from like 7 to 7 the next day, which is pretty much most days, if I don't wake up at 5, then I'm not going to be okay. Things are not going to get done, you know? So it starts with that little to-do list the night before. The next is obviously going to bed on time. And the final thing is putting your phone somewhere else, and like wherever you've put. So I have my phone either in my bathroom, or I have it like complete opposite side of the room for me. And next to it, I have my big cozy Two Collective robe. And I have like a light. I try to put it next to a light so that by the time I'm over to my phone to turn it off, I can turn on a light and I can put on my robe, because I'm obviously cold as soon as I wake up. So 2 little things next to it that allow me to get started. So I am experimenting this week with putting my phone in the bathroom, though, because it'll still be loud enough for me to hear it when it goes off. But then by the time I've gotten to it to turn it off, I'm already in the bathroom, which is where I need to be to brush my teeth, wash my face, and get my day started. So if that's your case, let me know. And hopefully, like, that's an easier way for me. Let us hope. But if you guys have other tips too for like how you wake up early, let me know. Sometimes it's just sheer anxiety. I'll get you out of bed. Struggling to stay consistent with content while balancing a busy full-time job. I see that. Oh, girl. I had a busy full-time job as well, and balancing content is super difficult. So the things that I always recommend to my clients specifically are you need to be way, 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 way more specific with exactly what content you're going to put out and exactly how much time it's going to take you. Because a lot of times the mistake that I made a lot when I was starting out with content was thinking I needed to be everywhere at once and that I needed to show up like 24/7, but on every single platform. But the truth of the matter is the opposite. It's actually that you need to choose one long form platform and one short form platform and talk about exactly like how often you're going to show up. And then you need to build in. I do something with my clients called the scale check, which stands for your skills, capacity, affinities, lifestyle, and energy. And we go through all those different things and we think about, okay, exactly how am I supposed to trying, how can I integrate this into my lifestyle? Like, what are my skills? So if you are trying to be a YouTuber and you don't like to edit videos and you don't have someone that you've hired to edit videos, then maybe you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, if you want to be a Substacker and a TikToker, then we say, okay, we have this amount of time that it takes to write a Substack essay. Where can I fit that into my week? And then this amount of time it takes me to make 1 to 2 TikTok videos. My goal is to make 1 a day. So then you add that on top of your lifestyle that already exists. So if you guys haven't already, listen to Emma Greed with Adam, what's his name? James Clear. James Clear, Atomic Habits. He just was on Emma Greed's podcast going over the whole Atomic Habits thing. Atomic Habits is unfortunately a Bible in terms of, habit building and stuff like that. But they talk about habit stacking, where when I had a busy full-time job, my commutes were exclusively for editing content. So on the way to campus, please, on the way, I would wake up in the morning, get dressed, get ready to go to school. Well, this was also what I did at school too. So get ready to go to work/school. And I would film before I left, edit on the way, and post so that I can have my day, Because once it's in your head or it's like, oh, I need to edit or I need to post something, like it ruins your day. You can't focus on other things. So I try to do that. If you are a night person and like getting home and editing is where you find it to be calmer, then do that. But otherwise, like that's how I did it. Like add it into my day. So now to this day, I can barely edit like at home. Like I feel like I need to be in motion if I'm editing and posting. I'm like, I need to be in an Uber or on a train or on a plane if I'm going to be editing and posting. Okay. Cold. Oh my God. Cold. Toronto is no joke. Girl, the Canadian girls are struggling. Yeah. Y'all are probably like, oh, a snowstorm. We've been through this. We don't care. Someone said balancing school with content and business development. I didn't, sister. I burnt out. It's literally my whole brand now. Yeah, I burnt out. It was crazy. So during the time that I was grinding my most, in school, I would wake up at 5. By 5:30, from like 5:30 to 7, I'd have like a 90-minute block, I'd say, of like work. This is not a time that I was like journaling and like vibing. Like, no, like I would journal a little bit, do like 3 pages, and then I'd get straight into work. 90-minute block, then get ready and either go to class or work a little bit more. And that you could be surprised about how much, well, how do I say, like, strategic work you can get done in 90 minutes. I think that it's scientifically our brains cannot focus for more than 90 minutes. So as long as you create that for yourself, like it can be really helpful. Like 5:30 to 7 in the morning, the sun don't even rise till 7 now. And so that's something for me that I would like start with. And then I would get into whatever, it was really just like a whatever the day needs to have. Like I'd spend half of my, what is it called? Like classes, like going through emails and stuff like that. I was just very much someone who was very focused on multitasking at the time, which is like kind of what the whole mess was. And what I didn't do that I would do now is that I would actually have hired a lot more help, because at the time I was not really comfortable. I wasn't hiring the right help for me, if that makes sense. So whatever your focus is in terms of your career or in terms of whatever you're trying to do next, like it's really about figuring out what the 20% is that's creating 80% of your results. So when it comes to my content, I didn't really recognize how much of my like podcast and long form content was so like loved by people, I guess. And so the biggest thing that would stop me from showing up there, so it's like the way you can find the big thing in your life that makes the biggest difference and is the shift, is that you can find what stops you from doing it. So for me, it was like the editing, the SEO, the like all the administrative work that comes with doing a podcast. And so like I'm just here to yap. Like I would like to talk. Like I know how to do all that stuff, but I don't know how to do it super well, which would just stop me from doing it. So once I found that and like hired out for that specifically, like not just the editing, but like a true production, that's what really helped me. And so if you're a creator or like business development or whatever it is, figure that out. The other thing that I've hired for with my assistant now is that she took on all of the logistical planning and stuff for my events, which is something that like I genuinely enjoy and I don't mind doing it whatsoever. but it's not where my zone of genius is. Have we talked about the zone of genius yet, guys? I think we need to. I think we need to. But the zone of genius is something I guess I've talked a little bit about on my TikTok and on my Instagram and stuff so far, where it's just like, okay, if God didn't put you on this earth to be doing this thing, then you should not be doing it and you need to say no. Because as ambitious, competent women, we have something called the curse of competence that I talk about, which is like, just because you're good at something does not mean that you should be doing it. Yeah? Yeah, exactly. I know. It's so annoying because, like, if I'm good, I may as well just get it done myself. That's the other thing about being smart and delegating is that, like, you genuinely, guys, like, most people cannot do it as good as you would. So there's that too. There's that too. Okay. What do we have next? Okay. So what I did first, because we're planning together, what I've done first is that I have gone through and added 3 times that I'm going to the gym. Oh, we stopped because I wanted to go see if Solid Core was going to be available for me to attend this week. Shall we see? No, only 10:15 PM? You bitches are going to Solid Core at 10:15 PM? You're lying to me. For 50 minutes too? It's not even 30 minutes? You're lying. This is crazy work. And it's every day that it's available. And it's full. What are you talking about? You guys are crazy. You're really crazy. And there's nothing available until Friday. It's like, how does one even, like, I went to Solid Core like many, many days over the summer, but now I get it. Like, honestly, it's where I want to end up. Okay, so things are available today, of course. Girl, tomorrow I could go at 3:30. But I don't like the Dumbo location. I don't like the Dumbo location very much, so what can you do? What can you do? We'll see. We'll see. So we're not going to Solid Core. We're going to the gym. Alright. Alright. Yeah, so what's fun is that what I've decided to start doing with the podcast is having guests on. So we're gonna be going from 1 episode a week to 2 episodes a week, one being a guest that's on Thursdays, first one being on this Thursday. So I'm interviewing on Tuesday, I'm interviewing the head of product at LinkedIn, and we're going to talk about like building your personal brand and career online in 2026. And this is because tell me if you guys are feeling this pressure as people, if you have a corporate job, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are anything, that right now, like the whole entire career landscape is changing. Like everybody's being laid off. Everyone's like trying to build this personal brand online. Half the people you know want to be content creators, but also like the content creators you do know, a lot of them aren't making as much money anymore. It's very confusing. Like the whole world of work is incredibly confusing right now. And so the point is at the end of the day, LinkedIn is still the center of where all of that is. And it is the place where people are getting so many opportunities. So that's why I'm like excited to interview her and to talk about how you can, no matter what your career is, start using LinkedIn to build the like place for yourself online that you're meant to have. Because girl, it's so confusing. And I'm like, wait, what are we supposed to be doing here? Like, but that reminds me, I got to post on LinkedIn today. Everybody post on LinkedIn today. Brag about yourself a little bit. You'd be surprised the like opportunities I get from LinkedIn because that's where decision makers are at. Okay. So that's why I'm excited for this episode. Then the next episode that I want to come out with for guests is with my friend Deanie, who runs Sitch, which is a matchmaking app. She's a matchmaker herself. And we're going to talk about what it's like dating as an ambitious woman and how ambitious women, like the realities of what it's like to be out there and how to like find your husband. You know, I know you're all struggling with that too. But like I said earlier in the live, like, I don't know, like, what if I just like don't really want one right now? I don't know. It's so weird because the way I grew up in Missouri, like to be 27 and single, like I go home and I swear to God, I'm the only adult and only person over 15 at any of my family graduating, any of my family gatherings that is not in a relationship, which is so weird, but it's so crazy. But anyway, so all right, we've got 3 times that we're going to the gym. And now some other things we need to do. So if you guys are curious, the way I run my business is I have 3 big offerings that launched this month, which is the events, the alignment edit events. I have which are a workshop series. The next 2 are February 1st and on February 22nd, which when I was listening to my Channy this morning, she said those are 2 of the best days in February, which was like not even my plan. Honestly, guys, like I'm just so locked in. I'm so astrologically locked in. But what I'm doing is I'm doing the first one is on the 1st, the next one's on the 22nd. Those are both very auspicious days as well. Really beautiful numbers. And so that's the first thing. And the thing about events is that they are so expensive that they honestly just break even. They are not like something I'm making a ton of money off of. What you get out of these events is that we are going to do a live workshop where we are basically going to reflect on your past and everything that's going on in your life, the chaos or whatever you feel in any sort of area. And then we're going to figure out the tiny shifts that make the biggest difference. Like we talked about earlier, like for me, it's email. Sometimes it's like waking up in the morning, whatever it is. And we're going to create plans for you. And then plans for you so that you can actually execute on those things and move the needle towards the big dream that you actually want. So it's going from good to great. And then we're going to do a little goal setting and vision board making party. So I'm providing a ton of different like materials and stuff like that so that you guys can all get like so that you guys can create the best vision boards possible. I literally am staring behind the camera over here is like 12 gigantic boxes of like pens, of like custom notebooks, of all the stuff we're getting for our gift bags. We have amazing gift bag partners. We're doing all this stuff. And so that takes a lot of coordination. But again, like I was giving you guys earlier, a little inside baseball is that my assistant has really handled so much of the logistics, which is so amazing for me. And then the other offering I launched is the long form, like in the form of the podcast. And as I just told you before, we're adding in guests. So the guest episodes and stuff like that, I am set to record the first week of February. So the following week. So not this week, but the next week, which means that this week, what I need to do is find a studio space and book like the best place for us to be recording. And I did plan to record these at the Edition Hotel, but I have I don't know, it's not working right now. And so I need to make sure everyone that I've reached out to come on the show is booked and ready to go. And then I'll have to book the spots. And then I'll have to spend probably next weekend researching my guests and everything, which is like a lot. So there's that. And then the third thing that I launched was my group coaching. So my group coaching and my creator economy coaching stuff, we've got to get that all in order. So our live coaching sessions are on Monday evenings, but I do want to make sure that I'm creating the best resources and stuff for them. So I need to spend some time making those slides and stuff like that every week and checking in on everybody individually. So those are the 3 big things that I personally run in my business. And then on top of that is sponsored content and organic content. So sponsored content, this week we have I have a deal I need to submit for a Nature Made that I recorded last week. I'm going to have I'm working with New York State about health insurance. So I'm going to have that due this week. And I'm going to have a lunch with Oribe, which is a hair care brand. They're doing a curls launch on Tuesday. So I'm going to that. But then right after that is when I have to go to LinkedIn for the big LinkedIn event that's happening this week. And then that's when I'm interviewing the head of product so that we can talk about that. And so, and then I have my big 2026 planning meeting. So since you guys are here and you're listening, I wanted to ask you guys about a thought that I've been having in terms of business. If this is not helpful for you, sorry, we're doing my Sunday reset. So it's getting a little bit about my life, but strategically. So I was thinking that I look at this little thing, right? Like all of the different desk accessories, the notebooks of the world, like I'm someone who absolutely loves to have a Post-it up in my apartment to like remind me of something. Or I really love journaling, as we know, or when it comes to like reading your book and stuff like that, like paper supplies, like you see how these are just like not like they're cute or whatever, but then I tried to like put this Post-it on my computer and it doesn't stick. very well. And then when it comes to building your own vision board, I found so much trouble finding the exact right materials that we would need. So you see my little entrepreneurship brain, it's starting to go. And I'm like, I feel like I need to start a desk accessories brand. Like, I think I need to jump in to, like, this is like ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, no shade, Target. But like, if this is all I can find is bright, like, this is not cute, you know? I'm like, what could it take? What does it take to make cute Post-its, to make a cute desk accessory situation? Like, the way I do it is I like find all my candles. Like, I like the key for candles, if you guys want to turn your candles into like cups and stuff like this, I do this with every nice candle, is all you have to do is boil some water and pour it in and then like put a plate on top and have it trap all the wax. All the wax should rise to the top and then you can like push it out basically. So that's what I do for all these. But cute stuff like this or like doing like cuter like stuff like this. If that makes sense, you let me know because if it doesn't and you're like there's enough desk pads in the world, let me know, but I just feel like I could make it better. And I just feel like sometimes you need to go analog and sometimes it doesn't work for you. And sometimes it does. So there's that. But that's something I've been, chewing on. But that's probably one of the like I do think that long term I would want to expand my business. Someone just asked to my to product again. I've learned, if there's anything I've learned, it's that I'm using other people's money this time, sister, not my own, because I used my own money last time and totally fine. But after going to Wharton, I'm like, okay, I see why you guys raise money and stuff like that. So, okay, back into planning our week, back into planning our week. That's what we're doing is okay. I really think 2 things that I always schedule into my week are nights to myself. So tonight will probably be one because we literally have a snowstorm. And then my second night to myself, I think I'm gonna schedule in for because Tuesday's gonna be busy, tomorrow's gonna be busy. I think I'm gonna schedule in a night to myself Wednesday night. So that means I'll do like gym early afternoon and like sauna and everything and all of that. And then these are nights where like I just don't let myself work or do anything. I tend to get a little like annoying and get on to work and stuff like that in the middle of the day. That's never good for me. So I like want to make sure that I have those 2 nights to myself. And then I'm not seeing enough socializing. I was going to say socialization, but whatever. I'm not seeing enough socializing in my week this week. Like I have no dinner plans. I have like 2 birthday parties on Saturday, but I don't have any other plans. So this is when I would typically, if I weren't on live with you guys, I would FaceTime or text my friends and be like, do you guys want to hang out? So who wants to hang out this week? So what I'll do though is I'll just add in a hold where like, okay, I'm going to plan to go to lunch with somebody on Wednesday because I'm going to be in the city on Wednesday. So I'm going to say hold for lunch. Perfect. And then I'm going to say hold on Thursday night for dinner. So we'll put that there because I'll probably want to do that. And then I'll do probably a Friday night in this week. And then on Saturday, since because I have 2 birthday parties on Saturday, and then I'm going to do the Sunday reset events on the 1st. So because of that, Saturday will be B-Day, social events. And what colors do you guys use for your calendars? Because so for social events, I have like a lavender because that's my favorite color. Well, my favorite color is purple, but my best color is red. Don't you guys hate that when like, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Okay, so social event this day, hold for office hours, which is a weekday. I have 7 office hours available this week. So if you guys want that, you better get into it. Okay, we got office hours, and then I'm out of the house a lot this week. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit, sister. All right, birthday social events, hold for a dinner, hold for a social something. Okay, because the reason I schedule this in is because I know myself. Like, I have got to see people or I'm going to go crazy. Okay, so we've got those in there. We have our health, we have our social life in here, and now let's think about food. Let's think about nourishment. Okay. So this is another thing that I'm not very good at. So nourishment for me, I hate eating myself. So we'll look at it this way. I am in maybe my follicular phase, something like that, ovulation, something like that. So we're going to want more fresh food. I have a lot of stuff in my freezer, but so I'm going to be fine until Tuesday, but I need to book on Tuesday. I just need to set an alarm for myself to grocery shop. And I will probably just go ahead and do my basic, easy stuff, which is a stir fry. Yeah, stir fry of some sort and a salmon avocado bowls or something like that. So we've got that figured out. So those are the first few things that are done. And then now we'll get into the work. So we've talked about a little bit of the work so far, but what I need to do is I'll need to record a podcast this week, and then I'll need to do guest booking and stuff like that. Then I'll need to do an hour and a half probably of admin, which is when it's the end of the month. It's going to be the end of the month, which means that we're going to have to go through the following things. So as an influencer, some of the metrics, so we'll back up. Metrics, they weren't going to let me leave Wharton without being obsessed with data and metrics. And I also happen to be not very good at taking a look at them. Okay. I don't enjoy it whatsoever. So I need to set some time to look at the data and look at the metrics from this past January and think about where we want to take them going forward. So that's going to be a really good thing for me to do on Friday morning because it's going to be the last business day of the month. And what I'll do when I go through these metrics are we go through the revenue, we go through the expenses of the month. We're going to go through what I grew on and what I didn't grow on terms of content and stuff like that, what we tried, what worked, what didn't work, all of that stuff. Then we're also going to go through and look through my the podcast growth because it'll be the first month of the podcast. And I have a call with my producer on Friday as well that we can talk about this afterwards with. And so what I'm going to do, because as I said before, admin and metrics is not my favorite thing to do, is that I'm going to have my assistant pull all of this. And that way I'm also not as emotionally attached to it, because you guys know if you're an influencer or a creator or something like that, it's so overwhelming to look at because when you look at the data, it sometimes feels like a personal reflection. And so what you need is just other people to sometimes pull that data for you so that you're not feeling as mentally connected to it. But Substack girls, you get it. But I basically am just okay, I'm going to have my assistant pull, okay, this is what you did in January versus January versus December, and then sort of come up with her own, I guess, idea of recommendations of what to do next. So we'll have an admin block that's scheduled for Friday morning. And then I don't like to be doing two different types of things in one day. Okay. So it needs to be admin, which is all admin on Friday. And so on Friday as well, that's when we could be doing guest booking and stuff like that, because that's what's going to need to be finalized. It's pretty much finalized. I have systems and everything for that now, but making sure that we have all the locations and everything scouted is going to be important. And then I need to do the final slides for the alignment edit events. That'll probably take me 2-ish hours. So I'm going to block that in for Wednesday morning because I have time then. And I'm going to want my fun and fabulous friends to make sure that they take a look at everything too. Actually, guys, now that I'm looking at the calendar, I have my 2026 planning meeting with my agency, with my agents on Wednesday. So I think I'm actually going to shift my admin to be my admin where I look at my metrics and stuff from the month and stuff like that. I'm actually going to shift that to Monday, tomorrow, so that I can bring on Wednesday feedback and realistic points of view and stuff like that to my agents to be this is what I want and this is what I don't want, and this is what's working and this is what isn't working, and ask them for help, because it's just important to get that out of people as best as you can. So I'm going to move that admin block to Monday, and I'm going to move the slides over to we'll keep that there. And then when I have this, and so also I like to schedule the days that I record and film on the same days that I'm leaving the house. So we're going to schedule 2 hours of filming each morning on Tuesday and Wednesday because I'm leaving the house both days. And this can be stuff we'll do for TikTok, whatever I need to be. Also, I have so much content that I got in Miami that I just don't really know how to give you guys, because I had the best time. I stayed at the Edition, gorgeous. It's just that I was completely by myself. So people are probably like, okay, like, what's this? Like I didn't have, the cutest setup or anything like that. In terms of like, I wasn't getting my G7X gorgeous pics, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't hitting like that. So, important for one to just keep that in mind. So, okay. So now it's looking like this is a kind of week where I need to be getting up at like 5 or 5:30 every day, which means I need to be going to bed on time, which is never usually a problem for me. But as we said before, the thing that I'm going to be trying out this week is actually putting my phone in my bathroom instead of in my like room here and leaving things next to it to help me genuinely like be okay. And when I wake up in the morning, like maybe it's water, maybe it's like not a coffee, but maybe I have my meds right there. I don't know. Also, I'm like experimenting. I think I need to experiment with new meds for my ADHD because something's not right. Something's not right, sister. We gotta get that figured out. Okay. We have like 5-ish more minutes on this live. So if you guys want to chit chat, ask me any questions, please feel free to. It's a quiet group today. Maybe you just like hearing me ramble in your ear while you're doing whatever you're doing, which is what I'm doing here. But looks like we have, got a lot of work events today. And maybe I'll show this to you once I'm finally done with it. But we'll have to do like morning wake up and journal. Something I've been doing in the morning, a little sneak peek into my morning routines, is waking up, immediately turning on some sort of like positive music or a subliminal or something like that, and then jumping into my journaling. And then while I get ready and do my makeup and stuff like that, I've been doing mirror work where I like say my affirmations and my goals in the mirror while looking at myself. And that has been so, 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 so helpful for me because I don't know, saying something out loud, like if you're someone who writes a lot, that's so great. But there's something about saying it out loud and realizing the power of your voice that's important. Someone asked how much are my office hours. They're $250 an hour, and those are linked in my bio. Tips for balancing homework and content creation. Again, my thing with content creation is that you need to look at your life and your lifestyle and find a place and time that helps that you can attach to something that you're already doing that you add in. That's the time that you do your content creation. So for me, it was during my commutes. That's when I would be doing all of my posting. And so I had to figure out a way to create content that I could edit and post in 30 minutes or less because that's how long my commutes were. Right. And then it's a total, the rest for balancing homework and content creation. It's just going to be like which one you have to prioritize a little bit where it's like, okay, this is why it's important to decide which platforms and like what you actually want to do with your goals and with content creation is with Instagram and TikTok, for example. Instagram for me is my priority right now, which means that I cannot be spending a bunch of time posting on TikTok when I haven't posted on Instagram yet. And so it's frustrating because it's like you feel like you need to be everywhere all at once, which is why I tell new content creators to choose one and just focus on one. And so I focus on just Instagram, and then TikTok is like a nice to have. But the other thing that matters the most is Substack in the podcast, and then anything else is fun on top of that. And so that's when I like add that on to my content creation is like, okay, I batch record. So I batch record my podcasts, I batch record all of that so that it can all be done. And then I just have scheduled time to review that content every week, which I'm also going to have to add into the calendar here. Thank you for answering. Of course, sister. Tips for journaling. What prompts do I use? Scheduling in time to journal, etc. So journaling for me is pretty natural. It's like wake up, first thing I do. After I've like, it's like a ritual I do with my coffee every day. But what I'll say about it is I just posted a video this week I just posted it on TikTok, or I just posted it on Instagram today about journaling, the prompts that I use and all of that. If you want to get started, you could get started with the Too Smart for This guided journal, which is the one I wrote myself. But I don't use prompts in the morning. What I did from September to December of last year was the Artist's Way. And the Artist's Way is a weekly guided journal where there's like a chapter that you read every week, and then there's like prompts and exercises. But on top of that, you do 3 pages of journaling every morning, like off the top of your head. You can't look at your phone before any of that. And so that's what also got me back into like the, everyday pace of doing it every single day. I don't typically do prompts for the most part, except actually I have all of these right here. Oh, God. This is all my journaling shit. So this book I picked up recently has been really amazing. It's called The Book of Alchemy, and it's a really amazing author. Her memoir, Between Two Kingdoms, is about her with cancer, I believe. But basically, she's put together a ton of different artists from tons of different backgrounds, which is really amazing. Like we got everybody up in here, all right? Like I just read one by Gloria Steinem yesterday. I said, Ariana, what are you doing here? They got John Batiste. They've like all these amazing people. And then there is a journal. They write 1 to 2 page essay. And then there's a journal prompt with it. So if you're feeling a little like, I'm not really in the mood to journal, or I feel like this is getting old, this is really inspiring because you're getting a little bit of meat to work off of, obviously, and then something to think about. The first thing that I picked up from here was an essay from Lena Dunham about Brittany Murphy. And like I picked up this book and I was like, let me see what this is really about. And I opened it to that while I was in the bookstore. And first of all, Brittany Murphy, God rest her soul, a princess, a queen. But it was like the prompt about it was think of like who's a public figure that you think about a lot, and like why do they matter to you, or something like that. And like it can just get you into some deep stuff. Like yesterday, the Gloria Steinem one was really helpful for me. Like it's really good. This is The Artist's Way. This one you guys all need to do. I'm thinking of restarting it myself simply because I feel like there's a big creative thing in me, but I'm not exactly sure what it is yet. Like, I think I really do want to write a TV show, or become like a filmmaker of some sort, but that just feels so overwhelming and insane that I'm like, I don't really know. Like, so I'm thinking of maybe doing The Artist's Way with that. But you guys know I have so much going on right now that I don't know if that's a good idea. But then we have The Daily Artist's Way. So if you want to skip The Artist's Way and just jump into this, I really hate the design of this so much. But essentially, there's a little writing like honestly, I don't think I recommend this. I honestly don't like it. I don't like it that much. I don't. Okay. Now, what I just picked up for the first time, what is the Atomic Habits workbook, which is like which is like a guided way to implement these habits. This is what he was talking about on Emma Greed's podcast, is the Atomic Habits workbook, which is like habit implementing and stuff. I can't say that there's like too many big habits that I'm trying to add into my life right now, because I kind of know the science between like how and what I'm supposed to be doing with these. It's more so that I'm kind of in the mood of, I don't know, just trying to manage having a schedule that is completely unpredictable for the most part. So yeah. But then these are my final little recommendations, are my 7 spiritual laws of success and the 4 agreements. I love these. So yeah. Someone asked on Substack, what platform do you recommend starting with? I recommend you start with the platform that is best for you. And so I would say the 3 things that you want to ask yourself are, in 3 to 5 years, where do you want content to take you? So if you just want to use it as a creative outlet and you simply enjoy YouTube or something like that, or you enjoy TikToks or stuff like that, that's good to know. If you want to sell and scale and sell a business into like Series A, like a true startup, and you want to be an entrepreneur, then you need to think about the distribution for whatever your business is. So if you have a service-based business and you want to be bringing in more clients, then you need to think about where your clients are spending time. So if you have a B2B business, then your clients are spending time on LinkedIn. So that's where you need to be. If you have a D2C business and you're selling clothes or shopping or something like that, your clients are most likely going to be shopping either on Instagram or TikTok, depending on what the price point is. So you want to think about, okay, in 3 to 5 years, where do I want to go? And where are the people who I need to be talking to who are going to get me there? And the other reason I ask this question is because let's say your goal is to write a book and you want to have a book deal. Then you need to be creating content on Substack and connecting with tons of and getting a bunch of email addresses and building your email list if that's something that you want to do, right? Like it can't be that you're getting on TikTok to post little vlogs every single day. If you're trying to sell and scale a service-based business, an ad agency, basically, like you're not talking to the right people. So that's where I say, that's the first thing. The second thing is what skills you already have that you can utilize for content creation. So for me, writing is a big thing. Love it, right? I'm not so good at like like my vlogs and stuff like that. Like that's not like I'm good at it and I enjoy vlogs the most, but my 3 to 5 year goal is not like vlogs don't fit into that picture as much as my like content where I'm sharing information or where I'm writing or my podcast or anything like that. So based on your skills, if you're like a really good aesthetically, then you should be on Instagram. If you are really good talking to camera and you don't really care about the aesthetics and it's like everything is kind of messy, then keep it on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. I say to do, oh my God, what is going on here? Oh yeah, the live is ending soon. Okay, wait. It's ending on TikTok because it's confusing me. I don't know what's going on, but we're still on Substack. Okay, but we're gonna end in we were supposed to end 10 minutes ago, but whatever. Point is, those are my thoughts on I might write a whole Substack about what platforms do you recommend and what platforms matter to who and why, etc. on the 2 Online Substack. So take a look at that. But that being said, this was so fun. Maybe I'll do it again next week. No, I can't do it again next week because I'm going to be in real life. So if you guys are going to be in New York next Sunday, please go ahead and register for the Alignment Edit in Real Life workshop. It's going to be the best time. We have the best stuff prepared and everything for you. So I highly recommend it. I mean, I've never done it before, but I know it'll be fun because this will be fun. So love you guys the most. If this is something you liked, that it'll live on the Substack. So the Too Smart for This Substack with me, go check it out and love you guys. Fun. Okay. Talk to you later.